Man,
Thank you so much for having me.
heard some great things about you.
Yes.
Oh, I hope they were all true.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, right. Make yourself at home.
Okay, great. Because had stocks us in your lovely friend.
Absoluteness about it. You see, so when you come into a room, you're indefinitely black. You're black. And when you're gay, you can kind of like take inventory of people's prejudices and maneuver your behavior and your reflections around their prejudices.
Why would you do that?
Well, because any sensible person would want to be respected. So
Right.
it's kind of like, if you have that choice, do you understand, just the way people pass?
Yeah.
If you could pass, you would pass if it meant that in that space you didn't have to
I got you.
take responsibility for what it meant to be a person of color. The same way with your gay, so it's kind of like, I'm not necessarily very flamboyant, so I can, some spaces I can go into and say, you see, like, I'm a moving target. And there are other spaces I can say, these are sensible, intelligent, multidimensional people, so they can respect me regardless.
Exactly.
Right.
So you have to be.
So you're watching for the moving targets.
Absolutely.
You watch for being the moving target.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
All right.
It's unfair, but it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like coming out day, I think, is kind of unfair for people who are no financial, moral, developmental, psychosocial position to come out. Like coming out, it assumes that you have a community that is prepared to
Right.
accommodate you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or at the very least acknowledge you. Do you understand? So I think that even coming out days are just, you do what you can when you can and with whom you can.
Right.
So.
You haven't officially, like,
Oh no, absolutely not.
said to the world, "This is who I am. This is."
Well, not deliberately. Like
Right.
it was never like a pivotal moment where it was like an exclamation I had to make.
Yeah.
People were close to me. If they didn't assume, I made it very clear
Yeah.
one way or another. But I always left room, just I guess for ambiguity.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really sure how people would treat me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You see.
And let me share this, and this is amazing. And let me just first of all say, you know, it's an honor for us to be sitting with you today. You know, you may not think it
thank you
is,
so
but
much.
it is. It really is, because you know what Tammy and I want to do is, you know, we being pastors, you know, there's always this like everybody know what we're going to say,
Right.
what we're going to do, because they feel like everything that we do is going to be, of course we try to do line up with God, but at the end of the day we feel like people are missing a major component in life about love and understanding, because we don't understand why people make the decisions that they make,
Especially love.
and we just automatically think that we have the answer to everybody's problem and why they do what they do. And I think for me, and I know for Tammy, and we talk about it all the time, the most important thing is understanding.
Absolutely.
We may not agree, but if I can understand why you do what you do and you understand why I do what I do, then there'll be a level where you don't necessarily have to accept it, but you'll understand
You
it.
can understand.
And it makes it easier.
Right.
And that's why I was asking, you know, that's why it's such an honor to have this conversation with you, because there are people that may want to know why you feel the way you feel about certain things. You know, what would you say was the pivotal moment to where you knew that you were
Gay.
Yes. I was gonna say it. Let me say it.
It's a very careful ballet around that.
No, that was one of my other questions too, but go ahead.
Oh, the very premise is just very complicated. I think it's just because like people already assigned me to be gay before I even identified.
Who did that?
Oh,
I mean, like
the entire world. It's kind of like this. There's a very stark dichotomy that's created. So if you're sensitive, thoughtful, intelligent, creative, artistic, multidimensional, cultured, clean,
Yeah,
you
you're
say
gay.
Indies automatically.
Yeah,
especially
you
for
dress
black
real
people.
nice and all that kind of
Especially
stuff.
like because like the opposite. See, the counterpoint is that you are domineering, masculine, sort of impenetrable. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Or like it's just and that's like an archetypal man.
But wait a minute. So
That manifests in all areas of people activity.
yeah.
Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. In every one of those subsets, it manifests itself the same
So
way.
the person that's not like that, what you described, they're thuggish.
Correct. It's either one or the other.
So you're either gay or you're a thug.
And
There's no in between.
This is common knowledge.
What am I? Am I like a thug? Am I like what? I mean, I like being clean. I mean, I like the things.
Because you're rich, you kind of like cats. So it's kind of like that. People are rich, allowed to be eccentric. But it's like, well, you just, normal
But
person.
the things you name are the things that you describe.
Well, you also
are things that are me.
Correct. Correct.
But I do know growing up, I think all of us have that. I don't want to say it, but I think, there's a part of me that was trying to lean toward that thuggish side. And then I had friends who were like that, but that wasn't me.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
So I'm asking, who put that on you before you even knew?
Well, it wasn't necessarily one person. It's a culture.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same culture that creates for black men this impossible standard of masculinity.
Yeah.
So who made you think it was inadequate for you to cry? Who made you think it was inadequate to think?
Exactly.
Or to feel? Do you see? So the same system structure works in both ways. So the same force, and it's not a person, it's music videos, fashion, entertainment. Do you see male role models who were idolized in pop culture? Are they affectionate to women? Are they kind? Do they treat people with respect? Are they sensitive?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Or are they just these one-dimensional Neanderthals who are like emotionally bankrupt, very like crude, underdeveloped sense of communication, and that becomes the archetypal standard.
Yeah.
The sexuality is a byproduct. It's just the way I think we're maneuvering through the world. Because my parents never said anything disparaging about my sexuality. Sexuality wasn't even something we'd even considered in our household. Mm-hmm. They just wanted me to be thoughtful, smart, creative, and free.
Right.
It was the world.
No matter what.
Correct. It was teachers. Teachers were some of the first people. Teachers and kind of strangely black women. They were the first ones to.
Are you serious?
Look, see, black women issue manhood.
Yeah.
Because we're all men. We all got penises. We know we're all men.
Yeah.
But see, women issue the identity of manhood. So it's kind of like they operate this proverbial. They're gatekeepers, so to speak. So they issue it to you. So if you are clean, if you're sensitive, and if in a lot of cases you don't demean them, it's true because they're the first ones to give it to you. Like girls are the first ones to say there's something off. It wasn't immediately gay. It's just something that's
it's something about you.
Peculiar. You see, it's and discovering what that means and also what it doesn't mean.
Yeah. Because see that when before I was married, you'll get that or you're this, they want you to do something and if you don't do it, you must be gay.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like, where does that come from? I mean, I just don't want to do. Why have to be labeled that? I mean,
and also understanding the implications of what that meant for you thereafter.
Exactly.
You see, so knowing that they're also creating a degree of violence for you.
Yeah.
And so, it's like I said, so much more than just like the sexuality.
Yeah.
It's just like the latter part. Because in a lot of cases, that's the most insignificant part of someone calling you gay. The presumption they're making is that something at your core, something elemental about you is just inherently inadequate.
What have you received from the church? Or have you?
I think,
and I want you to be honest, I'm a pastor, we are. So
I grew up in the church. My parents were devout Christians, we were Methodists, and they just always encouraged me to think critically.
Yeah.
And so I think that my departure from the church was a culmination of the frustration of my sexuality and knowing that it was just broadly despised within the culture of religion. On top of my own burgeoning curiosity about the politics of Christianity, the serviceability, the functionality of Christianity. What is its function to do? I saw so many people who were horrifically disturbed.
Yeah.
Do you see mentally disturbed? But they were devout Christians. It's kind of like, if this religion is not working for you to think critically about the reality in which you live, to take care of yourself, to not partake in behaviors that are self-sabotaging, if it can't help you do that, it can't possibly begin to help me work through the litany of different issues that I have to deal with as far as sexuality, as far as health, mental health. Do you understand? Financial prosperity. I couldn't even think about that. So it's if it can't help all these other people with overeating, being sexually ludicrous, judgmental.
Yeah.
Because if you can help people with that, they certainly can help me with gays.
So why listen? And this is why I want to go here, because this is a conversation that I think everybody needs to have, because it affects all our families. It affects us not as a church, forget the church part, but it affects us as people and how we view each other. And why let people and their issues and their lack of understanding make you make a decision? Because hold on, when you were saying that, I mean, even if it's an enormous amount of people who feel this way, it doesn't mean that they're right.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, my thing is, I don't want people to make decisions based on what the majority of everybody else say. Okay, but I know for you, that struggle and to having to keep dealing with that, is it easier to just detach than to listen to all of this?
Well, the point you mentioned earlier about like having that sort of autonomy, thinking for oneself, that kind of intellectual agency, that's theory and practice. See, theoretically, you should be able to foster your own unique sense of self, but practically, do you understand? The church is just a monumental part of Black people's thought, speech, action, behavior. This is like a central part of their life. And so the energy that it takes to take every single minute part of your reality, every interaction, meeting someone, and having the energy and also the desire or the will to have that conversation.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just like if you were Black in a room full of white people. So every single interaction you have to be prepared to explain yourself, because you're under constant appraisal, under constant surveillance, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, so and for a lot of people,
It's draining.
it's extreme.
Yeah,
it's draining.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
draining.
extremely draining, especially when most of the times it's futile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know how it's going to end. People either being like fake empathetic or just condescending.
Right.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you tired of?
Black people are very serious about not.
Why do you
being
keep
very
saying
serious.
Black people? What with the Black people?
Well, because we are our responsibility.
Yes.
You understand? And that's
So are you getting more of your the arrows that are coming against you, the things that are attacking you? Is
Absolutely.
it mostly out?
Yeah, because white people have this sort of freedom and fluidity to be or not to be, with their humanity never being questioned. Black people whose humanity on a minute-to-minute basis is being negotiated and renegotiated. So because your humanity is always on trial, anything that deviates from the norm is under immediate persecution.
Yeah.
Do you see? So, and that is the reality in which I live.
But,
If
you're Black, so you're not gonna be able to run from it.
Right.
That's
So,
true. But people run from things all the time.
But you don't want to have a lifestyle of running, and you don't want to create this lifestyle of always having to run and always having to hide from the opinions of other people.
We have been doing that. People in this part of the world have been doing that in one fashion or another. Do you understand? For the last 600 years. Do you see? So running for your complexion, running from your hair texture, running from your origin. Do you see? Running across the Atlantic. So it's just kind of like it's a metaphor. So running from the persecution associated with sexuality, running from your body size, running from your hair texture, running from your eye color, running from your skin color. So it's really just like a symptom of the same disease, which is hate. Yes. And self-hate.
So I want to ask you this: when do we stop running?
Absolutely.
When do we stop running from I weigh too much? I'm light skinned. I'm too dark. Or I'm too my size. When do we get to a point of saying? Now let me share this. Like what we were talking about earlier. We may not come to a common agreement as far as, Pastor, I agree with you, and I say I agree with you, Tenola, but we can respect each other where we are.
Absolutely.
And that's the beginning of the healing.
Yes.
You know, thank you. And that's the key. I always believe that healing comes from conversations.
Right.
You know, we have 3 daughters, and you know, of course, they think I'm probably the hardest man, maybe. Daddy
They do.
they do?
They do.
Okay. So I got it. They do. So, and they may think sometimes I'm being unreasonable, but I'm looking at it from a different set of lens. I'm looking at it from a 50-year-old lens. You're looking at it from our daughters from a 20-some-year-old lens, and you think that my lens don't see as clear anymore. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to share with you that these same lenses that are now getting dimmer once we're looking for exactly as clear as what you see right now. So I'm just trying to get you to avoid certain things, but there are certain things we're not going to be able to change.
That's right.
And that's the reason why these conversations like this are so powerful, because, you know, you may not be able to change me and I may not be able to change you, but if I can understand, if we could bridge the gap through understanding, maybe we'll be able to come to that side and you may be able to come to our side. You know,
Absolutely.
if you, I want to end with this one. If the whole world was watching you, Tenola, and you are a powerful, beautiful man,
Absolutely.
okay, gifted man, I can sense that from you. If the world was watching you, what would you say to the world?
You don't have to change someone. You don't even have to understand someone to love them.
Yeah.
I think
Come on now.
Hold on, say that again.
It's
Rewind that again.
It's sort
You
of,
said you don't
there's
have to do
something
what?
kind of inherently possessive
I felt
about
that.
saying, I have to understand, I have to
Yeah.
understand, I have to
I felt
understand.
that.
I don't have to understand someone to love them.
Yeah.
There's so many things that perplex me.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So look, the responsibility of someone who is deeply invested in creating a serious, emotional, psychosocial, or even just a cerebral relationship with someone is to say that I don't have to understand.
I'm just
I don't
supposed to
have
love you.
Regardless, you don't have
Yeah.
a choice really.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because it's so emotionally expensive to hate people.
I love that. Emotionally expensive.
It is. It takes
Yeah.
resentment, scorn,
does.
Takes a
fury.
lot,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it carries. Do you see? Like, and I think that's the thing with love. Toni Morrison remarked this in one of her novels. She said that like people look at love as this thing that you're giving away, that you're giving someone. But when you love, that's a gift you also give to yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like when you're in love, like when you're really, really seriously devoted to someone, like it makes you feel better too.
Yeah, of course.
And also when you
Because it's give
deny
and take.
someone, correct, when you
It's give and
deny
take.
someone love,
Yeah.
you're invariably denying it to yourself.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah.
And so that's why people who are hateful are just like they're just in this irreparable situation of pain.
Right.
Because the emotional content that they think that they're cutting off from someone else is seriously something they don't recognize that they're cutting off from themselves.
Yeah.
So, but it changes like this, conversations like this, because everyone is dealing with some subverted degree
Of course.
of trauma, dysfunction, and so when you kind of have that moment of transparency, do you understand? That's how my parents, my dad especially, it's like your mom gets you through years 1 through 18, but your dad gets you through the rest of your life, because like mothers are just like, you don't want to disappoint your mother, but you disappoint your dad.
Yeah.
So he's your dad.
He
like,
doesn't matter.
Daddy done did it.
Yeah.
Like, see, mom, daddy did it, because mom ain't did nothing. Daddy did it all. So when I'm like, I done had some stuff happen. I call my dad, and he's like, oh, well, it could be worse. So, that's all you did. But it's like, oh my God, it's so funny that you said that, but it's so true. Conversations just like this, because everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And I think in you all's position, it must be tremendously difficult
Yeah.
to, because a part of it is that people look up to you, but you're also human.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
there's that component of being a center of information, but also someone who can share that they're still on their path.
Yeah.
Do you see? They're not omnipotent. They're not all-knowing. You know,
Exactly.
they're human too. So
Exactly.
I'm just grateful for you all. I'm grateful for you all's the platform that you create to have these kind of discussions, because so many people are just committed to ignorance.
Yeah. And committed to hatred.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really wanted to say, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this whole story, and it's just touching my heart, because, you know, when you have the proper information, and then when you're sitting beside someone that's pouring their heart out, saying their truth and their worth, and letting the world know exactly how they feel. At the end of the day, this is what this show is all about. Teaching individuals how much love is so valuable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And teaching about that judging one another is just something that we should never do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I commend you and I thank you for your truth.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
really
Seriously.
do.
No, them big
because
words.
The world,
I'm grateful to be here with
No,
y'all.
big
It's
old-
like-
the
big
world,
words.
the world needs to
Really
see
know.
it. They need to know this. You
Yeah.
know, we need to stop judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need to show more love.
And it's better when we, instead of looking at Tenola and saying, you know, this is who this guy is, this guy's gay or whatever it may be, we need to learn about Tenola.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know, and let me be transparent. You know, and I'm my transparent moments because coming up, you know, it was always, you know, as a young man, you know, to dislike, you know, the gay community, and I grew up with that, you know, from older men, and you just before you know it, you start
Come on,
taking
tell
on
the
this,
truth. Yeah.
you start taking on this kind
Right.
of spirit.
And
That's
why?
just, I don't even know you, but I don't like you.
Why?
And it's like that's not
Well,
that's
because
not.
You know-
because it creates a distance between you and this thing. It
Yeah.
creates an object.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you create an object, just like a chemist can go into a lab and have carbon, sulfite, and boron. See, these are chemicals with whom they have no creation, they
Yeah.
no relationship at all. Do you see? You can do anything with it and then leave.
Yeah.
But it's like people are not like that.
Yeah.
Every single person on planet Earth has a sort of invisible relationship with you.
Yeah.
That's how you can meet people and have something that's called chemistry.
Yeah.
We don't like like you can't even describe it, but it's there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's kind of like when you stop objectifying people, like they're this object that you can just hurt and not invariably be hurt by in turn. Do you see? That changes the entire dynamic.
It changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
And I'm so I owe you an apology. And because of the way I was being raised by, these weren't my mentors, but men without the knowledge and without the right information, then that makes me responsible,
Right.
you know. And I love you.
I love you as well.
And I want to tell you I love you today.
I love
Awesome.
you too.
Whether you gay, straight, high, low, it doesn't matter.
I
My
love it.
responsibility to you is to love you.
I love
And you said it beautifully. I don't have to understand. I'm just supposed to love you. And that's what God says.
Come on.
So I'm going to hug you, brother. Cause
Oh,
come on in for the hug. Come on in.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God.
And I appreciate your boldness.
Amazing.
And your strength and your power.
Amazing.
Yeah. And give me that shirt when you leave because that's
Oh, no.
my
give me that shirt almost.
So, well, all right, man. I feel good.
I know.
You feel good?
Yeah.
All
This
right.
is amazing.
All right.
He does it all the time.
You love people. You just hit on them a little bit. Make sure.
I forgot. You're going to have me crying. All right, so we're going to end it. So Tenola, we appreciate you. We thank you for your boldness. We thank you for your strength. Very powerful man of God. I appreciate you. And tell me something you want to share.
I do. I want to apologize for the church. And the reason why I say this is because we are here to bring in the love. And a lot of us, we are not being the perfect example for God.
Wow.
And I want to apologize. The reason why is because you need to know just as much as anyone else about the goodness of our God.
And you
that
are
has
loved.
created you, that you are loved.
You are
He
loved.
created you. And just because of the choices or the things that we all do in life, we need to stop judging and show the love.
Yeah.
So I want to apologize for the Christians. Why? Because,
And for everybody.
and yes, for everybody else.
That's a
you know,
lot to take on. You don't.
yeah.
But
But it's so
I know what you
necessary.
mean. I know
Yeah.
what you
It's so necessary because we are to love one another. And so if I love him and he's not gay, but I don't love you because you're gay, you know, what is our Father
That's the wrong,
actually
that's the
saying
wrong
about
message.
that?
That's the wrong
It's
message.
the wrong message for the Christian. So if we may not agree, okay, wonderful. I may not agree that you're sleeping with someone else's husband, you know, but you're doing it.
But you're doing it.
But you're doing it, you know. But I do understand that, you know, the Christians will come up and then they will say, you know, well, the Lord says that sin is an abomination. Okay, now let's not judge about it. That's what he said, wonderful, fine, kind. But what did he say about love?
That's love. That's love.
What did he say about love? We all go sin. We sin every day or doing something, you know. So what's the point of all of this? I want to say I am so sorry.
I accept that.
I do. Because, baby, I know you have gone through some. I mean, listening to you today,
Yeah.
it's unnecessary. It's
I
just
will scare you up
unnecessary.
a tree with the stories I got.
Well,
Oh, mercy.
Hopefully this story may enlighten others and they may be able to see how important it is to love an individual in spite of their choices.
Absolutely.
and to get to know us as individuals instead
Absolutely.
of
I love
what
this.
we've been labeled by.
I love this.
And that's how it's done.
Thank you so much.
That's how it's done.
Bam, that's what I'm talking
Bam.
about.
Me too.
Let's see what we have to say.
All right.